Is Narendra Modi's defiant diplomacy on display for Donald Trump? Mr. Modi is backing farmers, rallying friends and maintaining a strategic silence.
भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा। और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं।
India knows Donald Trump is unpredictable and prone to U-turns, and India believes that playing the waiting game is the best diplomatic option. When dealing with a bully, disengage from him, even if he is spoiling for a fight. Instead, assure your constituency that you will stand up for them. Rally your friends and let that be your message. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi appears to be doing exactly this in his dealings with the US President Donald Trump. Hello viewers, welcome to this edition of Homework. This is your host, Aman Sharma.
Do you expect increased trade negotiations, since you've announced the 50% tariff?
No, not until we get it resolved.
Well, after Donald Trump announced 50% tariffs on India late on last Wednesday evening, Prime Minister Modi did not pick up the phone to call him. Instead, Mr. Modi spent over an hour on a call on Thursday with the Brazilian president, Luiz Lula da Silva, discussing how both countries were facing the steepest 50% tariffs from the US and how they should align forces. Lula had earlier said he won't call Trump and rather he would call Mr. Modi. Well, earlier that day, Mr. Modi said at an event that he would not compromise on the interests of the Indian farmers even if he has to pay a heavy price for it. This was his message to Trump's intimidating tactics. Mr. Trump, fuming over India's economic ties with Russia, imposed an additional 25% tariff last Wednesday on India. Yet, Mr. Modi's key aide, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, landed in Russia the same day. In a statement laced with defiance towards the US pressure, Mr. Doval announced in Moscow last Thursday that the dates for the Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to India were almost finalized now. And on Saturday, Mr. Modi spoke to Putin over a telephone call. Modi called Putin a friend and said he looked forward to hosting President Putin in India later this year. Modi also declared that they want to deepen the India-Russia special and privileged strategic partnership. Later this month, Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar will also be in Moscow for further preparations of the Russian president's much-awaited visit to India. On 1st September, Modi is scheduled to be in Beijing for the SCO summit, where he could hold bilaterals with both the Russian president and the Chinese president. All this is bound to infuriate Mr. Trump further. But Modi has chosen to stand up to the bully who wants India to sign a lopsided trade deal. Trump is upset over the stalled trade talks with India because India is refusing to proceed as the US demands unfettered access to India's agriculture, dairy and fisheries sectors. While by rejecting these demands, Modi is signaling to Indian farmers that he is their real messiah, seeking to put behind him the memories of 2020 when protests erupted over the three proposed farm laws. Modi had rolled back those laws in 2021 and his government also gives an annual help of rupees 6,000 each to lakhs of farmers across the country through PM Kisan Nidhi, besides crop insurance. But by standing up to the US for the interests of the farmers of India, Modi is making his biggest outreach to the country's farmers. Modi and Trump, incidentally, have spoken on the phone just twice in the past 100 days. Once was immediately after the 22nd April Pahalgam attack, and again on June 17th when Trump called while Modi was in Canada. During this particular call on June 17, Modi bluntly dismissed Trump's false claims that Trump had brokered an Indian-Pakistan ceasefire during Operation Sindoor. India also made a detailed statement on this call, with Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri reading out Modi's words to Trump. The US was clearly left embarrassed, and it did not even issue a readout of the Trump-Modi call. Modi also declined an offer by Trump to him to stop over in Washington, D.C. while on his way back to Canada. Something seems to have gone amiss between India and the US since. That 35-minute long phone call between Trump and Modi has not gone well. Modi felt it was necessary to set the record straight that US had no role to play in the India-Pakistan ceasefire. Modi had also seen from far an ambush coming, as Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir was also to be at the White House on the same day as Trump was inviting Modi to come there. Modi told Parliament last month that no world leader had prevailed upon India to pause Operation Sindoor, a remark that appears to have further angered Mr. Trump. The very next day, he announced 25% tariffs on India. He followed it up with another 25% tariff, citing India's business with Russia. For now, Modi is expected to play it cool and rally friends to form a common front against the US tactics. India has already issued an official statement describing US actions as extremely unfortunate, unfair, unjustified, and unreasonable. The strongest language it has used against Washington in decades.
कुछ लोग हैं जो भारत के का विकास जितनी तेजी के साथ हो रहा है उन्हें रास नहीं आ रहा है, उन्हें अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है। सबके बास तो हम हैं, भारत कैसे इतनी तेजी के साथ बढ़ रहा है?
India knows Trump is unpredictable and prone to U-turns and believes that playing the waiting game with him is the best diplomatic option. A Trump-Putin meeting is now expected to take place on August 15 in Alaska. India knows that if the Russia-Ukraine war issue is resolved during these talks, Trump's antagonism towards India may evaporate overnight. India finds it strange that while Trump wants to punish India for dealing with Russia and calls both countries as dead economies, Trump also sends a top emissary to Russia and now will meet the Russian president in Alaska. After all, it was also Washington that first encouraged India to buy Russian oil, and the US itself continues to import materials such as uranium from Russia. A trade deal with the US will be signed by India only if it is in the national interest and without sacrificing Indian farmers. Until then, PM Modi will go about his business as usual, sending his own messages, such as meeting a group of farmers from Tamil Nadu in Parliament on Thursday. This is Narendra Modi's defiant strategy when it comes to dealing with Donald Trump. Rally your friends, but maintain a strategic silence. Watch out for the interests of your core constituency, the farmers, and watch out for the national interest of India. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Homework. I will be back next week on CNN News 18.